Man, peace to the flames, peace to the collective, peace to the tribe. We are back up in this thing. It's the initiates with, we said we was going to be more consistent this week. And lo and behold, here we are with another fire episode. Today we're going to figure out what are the rules to black dating, spiritual dating, the ins, the outs. I'm about to put a link in the chat with the what you call that with the StreamYard. So if you want to come in here and act foolish with us, come on, don't be afraid. But of course, I got my nearest and dearest on the MIC. Jabri, he cooking, so he might be in and out. But we got AD Serpent
Yo.
tapped in, tuned in. Introduce yourselves. Let people know what y'all got going on this week.
Pork chop. That's the gravy. It's your boy D on what's up with it, y'all? How y'all feeling with it? You know what I'm saying? Tap in, flame on, dot shop, flame on, dot shop, flame on, dot shop. Get your nootropic, lock in, and come on, man. White Rabbit Psychedelics, we out here.
Sacred Serpent, Sacred Dark Serpent. Yeah, everything he just said plus one.
Hey, join the Discord, join the Discord, join the Discord. And man, we got an action-packed show, man. We got some videos to react to. We got some to talk, and also some gems to drop, man. But before we get into the conversation, man, let's look at the stars, literally, not figuratively, and look at this sidereal chart, man. Let's look at the moon in that third decan of Virgo, talking about wealth, going to be trying Venus in that third decan of Scorpio, where if you dream it, you can achieve it. So, what is your dreams toward? Success or failure? What say you guys?
It has to be success. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially when you really trying to develop yourself, you always gonna bring success towards your life.
What about you
Is
personally?
that the only two options I have, success or failure?
As far as astrology, where it's wealth and imagination, what you imagining? Is you
Okay.
imagining successful outcomes or outcomes where shit don't work out for you?
I'm imagining cooperation. So I feel like yeah, that's a beeline towards success maybe for some. But yeah, if um I believe that if the cooperation is there, success is inevitable.
Mm.
Where they at though?
That's why we doing this through. That's why we gonna start doing this 3 or 4 times a week. Like we trying to find out where they at, big bro.
Where they at though?
and, and
Man, I
it's
just
crazy. You said Moon trine Venus, right?
mm-hmm,
Yeah, this is actually in my natal chart. So it's
mm-hmm.
like on a like for real, like being in my imagination, like constantly trying to bring it out. Like, and I was just talking about this earlier too. Believing and knowing that one video gonna change my life. All the work I'm doing every day is worth. It's a chance of changing my life. Each thing I do.
And I just want to form like Voltron so we can change the world. But I digress.
So, with that being said, that get me to thinking about a certain type of idea that came along in my journey, where it's like success and putting the work in to be successful. Do you want to be successful, or are you knee deep in trying to figure out how to become successful?
Well, I say both, and the reason why I say that is because I see success in my actions that I do, and then also I'm trying to learn success every day and how to get it, how to maintain it, and how to teach others.
Like, what course of action do a nigga take? Like, for me, like figuring out how to speak, figuring out how to promote, figuring out how to market. See, none of this shit is things that I came in the game with. Right? So I had to really learn from the ground up what shit was. And even though it's all this information out here, you can always feel like a baby. But at the same time, when you do put in that work, you do see the results of it. So just making sure just the collective put in that work to be successful versus wanting it. You know what I'm saying? Like putting out a video. What kind of video? You know what I'm saying? What amount of effort is going to be put into the video for it to become viral and change your life?
Facts.
I love the way you broke that down. I think that ties into the whole cooperation thing that I was speaking to, because there are a bunch of things that you need to fall in line with you in order for you to get, like AD said, that successful video, or like you said, what is your goal or what is your intent to be successful, what to be successful of and for. So I think when it's cooperation, it works better with cooperation than it could ever work with, say just one person trying to do it by themselves.
So the sun is in Libra, my Nagas. We going for a new moon in Libra. Serpent talking about cooperation. He got the paddle for the thoughts. Keep them in line. How do y'all... I'm in a silly mood. Y'all gonna have to excuse me today. But anyways, how do y'all get your significant other to cooperate? So we talk about relationships, okay? Sun is in Libra. We can't be scared. How you get your women to lock in with you? Ladies, what makes you want to lock in with a man? I know there's some ladies in the chat. And don't be afraid to get your ass up on this stream. The link is highlighted. Because the moon is conjunct Lilith too. So that secret psychic power that is within us to really tap into something that is, financially substantial. But then you got the sun in Libra, like you're not going to be able to do it by yourself because it's going to be perfectly sextile in Saturn in Aquarius. Aquarius ruling the 11th house. Imagine a sun sextile in Saturn. Both of these signs require cooperation and working together. How do you get it popping?
For that first thing that Serpent said, that cooperation part, I feel like things gotta be down to the T on what the fuck is going on and what the fuck y'all want. Like everybody be keeping their tongue hidden on what they really be wanting from their partner, and just even what they want for themselves. Period. Like a dude can probably low key want more than one partner, but he be scared of saying, he be selling it for it.
Okay. This is the shit. Why is we afraid to verbalize having more than one partner?
I mean, because society says that's a no-no.
But right? But this your shorty, she love you, right? Huh? This your shorty, she love you.
Yeah. I know she loved me, but we all know that those concepts of what these people in relationships talk about love come with conditions, right? Like that's a conditional love.
But what about polygamy and having multiple partners? She love you.
Yeah, but she gonna tell you she can't do that. She gonna tell you that there's no way that you love her if you want more than one partner.
OG, hold up. How about this too? Or she has a hard time not being the only one.
a hard time not being the only one.
But also, I don't want to just put it on the women, not the divine goddesses. Let's go to the divine masculine, right? How many niggas is gonna be emotionally okay to know that they John loves and enjoys getting their cheeks clapped by other men as well as him?
Niggas' chest being a stomach.
Oh yeah, we not doing that. That's a double. We talking. We in the double standard lane. I'm 100% double standard on that. Don't. Nah, that's like saying just because she wear a dress, I get to wear a dress. It don't work like that.
Super facts.
We got two different rules, and I heard some shit that I feel is true, but maybe it's not true. I just heard it. Niggas say a lot of shit on the internet, but women don't have a problem with polygamy. They just have a problem with being with a man that don't got a lot of money and want to introduce polygamy. Because if you had a mansion or an estate and, she could have access to, your funds, but she got to put up with another woman, I think she going to eat that.
That makes perfect sense because you mean she can get her nails did, her toes did, her hair did, everything did, and the only thing she got to do is share the phallus with a couple of other women. I think she'd be okay with that.
That's what I heard online, Serpent. I don't know if that's true or not.
Yeah, that's like we all eating, so I ain't got nothing trip. I can do my thing.
Yeah.
I think what you're saying is there's selective outrage with what women choose to allow and not allow, right? So they'll allow it from a person who got bread, but they won't allow it from a person who's a pookie. Right, like a homosexual, right? The dude that's sleeping on somebody's couch or in somebody's basement, right? So they'll allow it for the dude who can support their lifestyle with these other women, but they won't allow it from the person who, working check to check and they barely got a pot to piss in and a window to throw it out. Is that what you're saying?
So this is my problem, Serpent, with relationships, AD. Wrap your arms around me, sis, or move the fuck along. Like, don't give me a hard time, because it's like, as a man, I would be so tolerant and so open-minded to shit, to then get double back to be like, I'm so tolerant to shit that when a person say, well, I want a man that do this, or I want a man that do that, it throws me for a loop, because it's like, damn, whatever happened to the wrapping of your arms, the nurture, that part? Like, why is there so much clarification on what a man is in the midst of figuring out how we going to be successfully relationships? Because if we trying to have a foundation to successful relationships, but then it's like, well, do you make enough money? Is you cute? Is your package big enough? Do you make enough money? I think that puts a lot of pressure on men. And the sad part about it is that you don't even get that in return.
In all honesty, I don't think it was ever designed for us to get that in return, right? Like, when you talk to me about the reality of a man and what a man is, and then we talk about the idea of the man leading, and the man, generally, if he's a man, he's not liked, right? And then even though he's not liked, they still want everything that they can get from him. So for women, it's never been about the idea of respecting the man or necessarily even loving the man. It's always been about what that man can provide for them, i.e., my lifestyle, my entertainment, and my just ability to live a soft life and someone just take care of me. It's never been really talked about along the lines of equality, even though women want equality. It's never been talked about along those lines, nor is it ever a matter of what the man is getting and isn't getting. It's always about what can you do and what have you done in the past. Like, that's it.
Right. And that be my problem. Because I want to be treated amazingly just because. Because I'm going to treat a thought amazingly just because. I just want it in return, man. Let's get to reacting because, you know, people say we take too long with the intro. So let's just get into the shit. This first video we're going to be reacting to is Cam Newton talking about polygamy. And I want to get your thoughts on this video. Hey, man, like the video. Put a 1 in the chat if you like the video. Because if not, we going to send Baron Samdi to crack your girl if you do not like the video. I got a real close relationship with the Baron.
Well, he said, I know rich niggas that'll fuck your girl.
Man, you'll be in the bed with your girl. He'll come and slide through. So be careful.
Yeah,
Make sure you like the video. It's not a threat. It's a promise.
Yeah, he is the homie.
Mm-hmm.
It has got lost in translation. In our religion, it has got lost in translation. There are some high-valued men in the Bible that had a lot of favor from God by having multiple wives and multiple concubines. So you can't sit up here and say you want a man of God and not acknowledge the fact that, oh, in this society it's socially accepted. But in the Bible, when you talk about David, when you talk about Solomon, the wisest person in all of earth, he had the most wives anybody has ever had and concubines. And when David was in battle, he would go back to not only to save his wives, but to go back and protect his concubines.
You know, King David had multiple women, and you know, and Abraham and Israel, and you know, he didn't name all those names, but he named multiple men in the Bible. But it's true. I have never had one woman my entire life, and people have told me that something is wrong with me.
This is the get down because I hate he need to have money, he need to be a thing, he need to be away, because I've been having multiples since kindergarten. I had 2 girlfriends in kindergarten, Tierra and Brittany.
What?
They was my girls in kindergarten.
I did have 2 favorite hump partners, but that's another story. Look ahead.
We was in school, so we couldn't really crack it off like we wanted to. But I did have a girl in my neighborhood that was my humping partner. Like, see, niggas don't never have these conversations.
Don't judge me, please.
Niggas don't like if and this is why my boys, they not about to be around no little girls, period. Because when I was 5, we was playing house. For bad or for however you want to call it, however you want the cookie to crumble, we was on demon time as children. And the reality of this generation is that it didn't ever even stop. It just got more sexualized as I got older. And in the midst of just being a black man that had a little energy about itself that attracts multiple women, period. And I don't, if a man can attract multiple women, my personal opinion is that he shouldn't be demonized. He should be respected and put on a pedestal because a lot of these niggas can't get one woman.
He should be revered and put on the fucking pedestal, like you said. Just for the simple fact that a lot of these dudes is socially awkward, right? A lot of these dudes can't even have a legitimate conversation with a woman, let alone a legitimate conversation whatsoever. So the fact that you have dudes who are capable of dealing with and messing around with and at least doing something to the point that they can give something to these women that they want, like that is 10 times more beneficial than anything else, honestly.
Yeah, you ever seen dude just like get starstruck over a girl, bro, and just like lost all his words? That shit blows my mind.
I mean,
like those dudes,
possible.
We need to be taking classes. Those dudes need to be giving out classes. Like, honestly, how many of y'all niggas are just sitting in y'all basement right now playing that fucking GTA? Right? Like
Call of Duty Black Ops 6.
Like, I know
Call of Duty
like,
just dropped.
Yeah, like I know you would like some nice Wu-Tang to be down there with you. I mean,
yeah, they like nah hood. They low key decoding shit in the story mode. They trying to tell us something. Like, but nah, I just feel like, man, you get your social game up and learn how to talk to people. I'm telling you, I seen the most dudes who know how to wear a comfortable fit and get a lot of women, whereas a dude who try to dress up can't really talk about nothing.
Yeah. I mean, that'd be the thing though. It's like so much pressure for men in this society that once you relieve that pressure valve, the darkness of it is that you get nothing in return. That's the darkness of it. Because the work that you had to put in, it wasn't on the opposite side. Like no work is being put in to treat you good. You know, like nothing is being done, and that's the dangerous thing about dating, where people will be like, well, I've been dating this guy, been dating this girl, and it haven't been working out because you do nothing for this person. You too broken to even show up for this person and pour love into this person, because you think that the dating market owe you something. And even if it do, what do you give to the dating market? What do you give to a man besides your ass to kiss? And people can get mad that I'm saying this, and people cannot understand why or where it's coming from. But that is because you don't give anything to a man. Because if you did give to a man, you would know the difference between being in a relationship and waiting on the man to be versus let me just figure out how to balance this thing out.
Mm-hmm.
How many women think? I mean, how many women do you think go into the concepts of modern day relationships with the ideal intent on being an asset?
It's fairy tale, it's Cinderella, it's Sleeping Beauty, it's things of that nature. I remember talking to this girl, her name was Shanna, and she was a baddie, and she never was in a real relationship. And we were just kind of talking, and she was like, you know what? I'm just really waiting on a guy to come sweep me off my feet. But we're in our 30s though. This is what you waiting on. And it's like, what does that mean? Where did you get that concept from in reality? Because being swept off your feet more or less is going to come from a narcissistic manipulator, love bomber, that's going to put you in a 52 fake out and have you be in a situation where it's like, damn, I thought this nigga loved me. But then at the end of the day, it's like, this nigga was crazy. This nigga was weird. But it's like, y'all don't even like regular dudes.
That's crazy to call somebody weird and you don't even like regular dudes. I just don't understand. Like those are the women that usually end up getting used the most. The ones that want somebody to just sweep them off their feet and they just bringing nothing but supposed good looks to the table. Like those are the ones that get abused the most. Because they don't have the mental faculties to understand that the man knows how to show a good time, but not actually be a good time. Like a man knows how to do that. It ain't hard to do that for a woman who's just out for a good time.
Bro, when you love a woman, you show up for her. Like you never, you can't even. It's all you want to do is show up for her.
Mm-hmm.
So when you got a guy that don't show up for you and that shit turns you on, that's a problem.
That's weird.
Mm.
Super counterproductive too.
Because it's the conversation on like, well, why doesn't a man do this and why doesn't a man do that? Because the nigga got hoes and you won on the list.
Mm-hmm.
Because if it was a guy who was centering you, you would have these questions. It's like every single day we got things that we need to take care of. So why wouldn't I be with somebody that's going to help me out in a day-for-day situation? Why would I not be in a relationship with somebody that's going to pour into me, nurture my dreams? The reason why is because she's not doing that. She's making my life more difficult, and she just waiting for me to sweep her off her feet. And maybe I can't. But at the same time, universally speaking, being a provider and all of this type of weird shit does not constitute for adult relationships in this country where it's two adults coming together working to balance this thing out. Back to the sun being in Libra, where it's like, if you went on a first date and you didn't figure out how the relationship was going to be successful, it probably wouldn't be successful. And that's a problem because we don't even have customs within our relationship constitution for it to be successful. So therefore, get into relationships, do whatever we want to do, and then be like, well, why didn't it work out? Because there was no rules, there was no customs, there was no structure, and we was fucking a lot. Just add gasoline to the fire.
We're looking with grease right now.
And that's crazy how we was talking about like, do your actions speak success for your relationship or just for your dreams and imaginations?
Bro, like you gotta put in the effort and it gotta be real because when your eyes wake up, like I'm gonna tell you this, don't be in a relationship and take shrooms. If you want your relationship to be what it is, leave the shrooms alone, because when you start taking shrooms in your relationship, you start to speak the truth to a motherfucker. And this is going to burst every bubble in your foundation, but the truth is the truth. And when you live in truth, you're going to be supported. When you live in a lie, it's going to feel like something is missing. And a lot of times for men, the thing that is missing is structure and guidance and respect. Not because you got money, not because you look good, not because you got a package, because you are a black man, because you have ancestors, because you might deserve that respect. Because when you get that respect, it's almost like an awakening within you, because you can't make people love you. You know what I'm saying? That she got to have that within herself, and it can't be based on nothing. So if you moving based on this, that, and the third, and then be like, well, he checked all the boxes. Oh, he was a narcissist.
And I would beg to differ and say you came in narcissistic by thinking that this motherfucker was just supposed to be there to just provide for you, like
be a benefit.
Yeah, like that's the crazy part. Like a lot of these women just think all they have to do is look good, right? Like that's I can't do nothing with you just looking good. Like I can't build off of that. Right? Like you being arm candy for a nigga is not nothing that we can build off. That's not sustainable.
And like think of this, back to Sun and Libra, right? This speaks to business, right? And most relationships are businesses. So it's like as a business, you gotta come with certain shit together, right? You gotta have certain things pieced together. So when you work with other people, motherfuckers ain't like, man, we just been sponsoring this damn business, lost all this money. What are we getting out of this? You got to really have that shit down when we think about these relationships and how they go into business aspects. Because sometimes we think we could just jump out of shit, but realizing like we just wrote contracts on this. If you think about your housing, if you're renting or whatever, you gotta be ready to break that lease. You gotta be ready to take some hits now. That shit always leave a motherfucker fucked up when they want to break the lease. And it's like, man, but we got to. And it's like, why? Man, I don't like you here no more.
Right.
I don't know if y'all mentioned it, but Libra being the adjustment card, and you know when two people come together, it's going to take an adjustment. You know, because
Every time.
It's not just about you. You know what I mean? When two people come together for any reason, it's like, okay, I gotta adjust. You know, we both have to find a certain level where we can be productive together, you know, and then also understanding like, today my partner ain't doing good, but I'm on, you know, so I'm not gonna take it personal that they need a day off, you know, and then vice versa, you know, because you understand each other's strengths, and sometimes you may feel like this particular thing is your strength, but they might be better than you at it.
Facts.
And people don't see. You know? Yeah, because like my lady, she's very, very outgoing. Like I remember we was going to Hood. We was in Detroit, and we went to the Deluxe Flux, and it was a long ass line, and she was just like, "Man, we paid for our tickets online. Why we can't walk in the door?" Walked up to the security guard and just asked. We skipped the whole line, like we was on some VIP shit, you know. It just be little shit like that, you know, because my eyes, I would have just been like, it's all right. We out here, the weather ain't bad and shit. It's just like, let's just go see. Skip the whole line, you know what I mean, type of thing. But yeah, that's something to keep in mind. Like, you want to take a certain adjustment because, you know, on a certain level, we all only childs. You know, everybody got an only child syndrome to a certain extent.
To a certain extent.
We living in an individualistic, a society that champions individuality, which isn't bad, but it's kind of extreme, you know, and it makes it hard for people to be able to relate to others, you know, or to be relatable, you know, because everybody can't be somebody with 100 million followers. It's just not practical.
Or somebody with $100 million. Like we all can't be rich and we all can't be that guy. And some of us have struggles. But at the end of the day, we still attract the opposite sex on both panels. So, you know, water seeks its own level. So at a certain point, when you judge that person that's in front of you, you got to understand, is this balancing us out or is this throwing us off balance? And another thing I want to say about what AD has said, like in reference to like just being there for somebody, because when you are there for somebody, it's almost like God allows the relationship to continue versus when the thing is out of balance, God pulls you up out of those relationships like you can't even imagine it. So having somebody in your life is very divine. And is one of the most special, amazing things that could ever happen to a man. So when people start talking about this type of stuff, it's not to like trigger nobody more than it is to like awaken the reality that, man, we all need to work on this thing without an ego, without being selfish, without focusing on the negative aspects of relating. Because, you know, we shooting ourselves in the foot as a society at this point, as a culture, as a people, right? We doing the most and we not doing shit at all at the same time. So whenever I see men that have successful relationships, I always want to pick their brain because at the end of the day, that's the goal. And I'm always thinking like, damn, that nigga lucky. He got him somebody that's really down for him. And, you know, that's what I want people to feel about me and my relationship, man. That nigga lucky. He found somebody that really rocks with him, that really balances him out. You know what I'm saying? Mentally and emotionally. And at the end of the day, is that what you getting out on a dating market?
Nah, because it's like in the dating market, it's always this tendency of like being someone and quitting, being with someone and quitting. But as in like when you find somebody you build with, you learn each other, you learn how a person shows up, especially when you communicate it. Because when you see consistency not always gonna be 1,000 over the board shit you always do. You gonna have your days you going hard, your days you doing this. So it's like when you understand that about your partner and you see how you can show up for your partner each and every day, depending on how you truly feel, and you really actually thinking about that and communicating that, then yeah. But like I said earlier, we gotta think like businesses. Like some things you gotta come with. So are you gonna be aware of your emotional self and your problems? Are you gonna be able to talk about those things? Because that's how people gonna get into business with you. They know you got those skills because they putting the trust in you.
What are the skills that you bringing into the relationship? That's powerful. Let's get into this, Dr. Umar. I'm gonna break this up because it's 3 minutes long, and when it gets to a certain part, we can react to it. Also, the link for the StreamYard is in the chat, so if y'all want to join, feel free. We need different perspectives. We don't want to hog the perspective. So if you ain't scared, join the panel, have a conversation. Just have the conversation. Let's have it. Hold on, let me put the volume up. Let's see what Dr. Umar talking about.
Here's the thing. How are black male-female relationships going to work when no other relationship works? Black churches don't get along. Black men don't get along. Black organizations don't get along. You understand? So we'll pull out the male-female relationship piece and treat it like it's different, but it's just a symptom of the self-hate that the entire community experiences. You understand? You got to heal from the top down, right? We want to fix the family, but we don't want to fix the community. Well, the community is nothing more than a collection of the families. So we need a bottom-up and a top-down solutions approach.
So then where do we start in terms of healing relationships between black men and women? Where do we begin?
You got to have the conversation, right? All therapy, all counseling begins with the conversation. We don't have enough dialogue as African people. And there's two reasons why we don't have enough dialogue. Number one, we don't own enough spaces where you can bring black people together long enough to have a deep conversation. Think about it. How many places in Toronto that we own, completely owned by blacks, not multicultural, not government, we own it, right? Like Frederick Douglass, Marcus Garvey, we own it, right? How many black spaces in Toronto do we own that can seat at least 500 black folks so we can come together once a week and figure our stuff out? Not many. Most of what we own are the churches. And most churches, what? They don't want no political conversation or agitation. Exactly. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? So one of the biggest barriers to organizing black folks, where do you do it? Because you
triggered a thought. How do we have conversations with black women? This is a clip right here.
Honestly,
everybody don't speak at once.
Social media, niggas talk on social media. I don't know where else niggas talk at, but
I mean, we on social media. And the algorithm is the algorithm. So let's just like if you seen somebody's phone, they will have a completely different algorithm than you have. So let's remove technology. Let's imagine that technology don't exist. How do you? I'm talking about your peer, a woman that's your age, race, culture. How do you approach her in conversation or in a general sense? Is that rare or is that common? And we talking about your sister, not no extreme cases, girls you done went to school with, your cousins, your aunties, your sisters. How do you talk to them about relationships in reality without it being an argument or barbershop banter?
For me, I ask questions. I and it's kind of like a general people thing, but like people like to talk about themselves. You know, people like to feel that, you know, they heard in some degree. You know what I mean? Even if you disagree with some of the things they saying, being someone that can listen without judgment, that's kind of going back to Libra, you know. The lack of judgment, having a light heart, you know, keeping that in mind. And then from there, you know, always asking questions and listening, and then sharing my perspective. I try not to kick in the door with my perspective, because you know, sometimes it can be inflammatory, you know, to some people, you know, and they won't like that shit, and then the conversation can take a really crazy turn, you know what I mean? So I do like to, like, when talking, like you saying, the aunts, sisters, cousins that are women, just hearing them out, you know, because I mean, I feel like people in general, like, you got to talk about your life in the way that you see it, even if it's wrong. You got to be able to, like, speak on, like, what you see or how you feel about it. I feel like that always, like, sets the floor, unless the person is just mad as fuck and they just want to, you know, bash the opposite sex and stuff like that. But even in that case, you know, yeah, I'm gonna say that, like, you just got to know that people love to talk about themselves, you know, and a lot of times when you let people talk about themselves, they'll tell you what their traumas are, you know what I mean? They'll tell you, you know, they weak spots are as far as relationships. And once you start asking them questions, then it's like, damn, you real cool, and you didn't really do nothing for them, but just ask the right questions and help them think through it.
Facts.
It's like, you my favorite cousin, you my best friend, I love you. Let's take a picture.
Hey, boy, that picture, oh my goodness. Come on, before you go, smile. Yeah, like, you know, and it's like, I'll say, like, the way, you know, to talk about it with the women, aunties and stuff. Like, for me, you know, if we want to talk about charts and stuff, I'm a Virgo moon, right? You know, so I always had a strong feminine protection in my life through all my aunties, my grandmas. You know, they always been heavy in my life, even big female cousins. So it's just like, when I always talk to them about it, I always try to talk through a sense of God, because, you know, they always try to bring that in my life a lot. You know, so I always ask them, you know, how would a relationship look under God? You know, some of them could answer, some they couldn't. But that's how I always try to talk about it with the women, because it's like, you know, I noticed all the relationships wasn't perfect and all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like they was always talking from this place of, oh, this going good. You know, it was like, oh, well, they'll do that little laugh before they start talking. You know how that be. And then they just get to rapping. You know, and then, like, if we talk about how to approach somebody, like, you don't know or talk about it, with that same concept, but also, like you said, really trying to talk to somebody and understand them. Because just like when we think about Libra and that scale, the reason why it's balanced is because two sides know how to coexist one with each other. So it's like we have to understand that within each other to be able to have these combos. Like, you know, like, I know a lot of church people. They know how I get down, how I talk about stuff, and they always like to have combos with me, because I never be like, do this and that, you wrong. You know, I hear them out. You know, if I like to read and study the teachings, then I should be able to talk about it with them, not from a place of like, yeah, you wrong, you know, because at the end of the day, they still be like, so yeah, so should I, like, make me a little altar and stuff, right? I'm like, yeah, man, do your thing. Like, you know, people always got that curiosity. People always want to see what the other side is like. So, like, for you to have that scale going up, you higher than them now. Like, you trying to have this type of view above them. Now they gonna see this type of resistance and feel some type of way. But when that scale is level,
you looking down on them and shit.
Yeah, you really see each other. So that's how we got to.
Say the conversations that you have with women. I always try to have conversations with women that I have no intention on pursuing. And what I mean by that is the conversation needs to be about something other than what we could possibly end up doing together. I just like to listen to women talk. And I believe that if you have the ability to exude a particular type of patience and just listen to this, and this goes for anyone, not only women, but just listen. If you listen long enough, these women will tell you exactly who they are. And I think you also have to have the ability as a man to listen without a judgmental ear. So a lot of people listen and hear people's stories and have conversations with people. And a lot of the times it's geared around them wanting to get a particular point across, wanting to win a particular argument that they probably will end up starting, or just wanting to say the whatever random catchphrases that exist within the social community as it is. So, like the conversations I prefer to have are the conversations that don't have me interjected into it on a one-on-one basis, as opposed to me wanting that woman or that woman possibly wanting me. Just have a conversation and have an open ear.
Shit.
You can't do it outside under the tent because everybody else going to come and listen in on what you do.
Yes, exactly.
You see what I'm saying?
Private,
so that's a barrier. And then the other barrier that has been imposed on us by European capitalism is the rat race of making ends meet. You got to work 3 jobs. You got to work 3 jobs. You got to work 3 jobs and raise the kids. So you never get enough time to dedicate to helping the collective improve because we're so bogged down with all the bureaucratic obligations of the white superstructure. You see that? So keeping us busy with things that essentially don't really matter, but you got to do it to make sure you eat and can pay bills, and then no place to meet at the other time. Look at the other races. They got places to meet, and they have their own self-governing economic structures, right? So they can employ their own, they can empower their own, they can extend wealth to their own. We don't have that. And so when you say,
you got me to thinking, why do black people not like each other for real? Like as a race, not like probably in our family we can cooperate and commingle barely, but in the space where it's a black grocery store or a black department store and all black people own it, black people employ other black people. In y'all opinion, y'all might not know, I know this is a large question, why are we at odds and not able to work together in this country and forced to figure it out together, but then at the same time holding the fact that we don't have these spaces against each other? You know what I mean? Like we all in this shit together. It's fucked up for me, it's fucked up for you, but you're gonna be like, well, why is it fucked up for you? And I'm gonna look at you like, why is it fucked up for you? And it's like, man, we in this system, we should work together to get out of this system versus, you know, hating on each other. And I feel like, I just personally feel like, man, it should be fucking common sense that we need to work together. We shouldn't even be putting each other through nothing if we knew our history in this country. That's just my personal opinion. What y'all feel about that?
It's all due to, like you said, first the system, but when you think about the key points that's constantly guided called the system is through indoctrination and you like, and that's for real, like indoctrination and all that, because it's like people earlier, someone said Disney, Cinderella's. Like, we gotta realize how many things that's been pushed to us, how many things that we've been taught, how many things that we've seen, so many people programmed. So it's like they got their mindset on this. Like, we gotta think about what our culture is set around, and even like our area, because 9 times 10 people are products of their environment and don't know, or they do know it and they accept it and they love it. Like, you got people who in the hood and they love being a street nigga. they're a product of the environment. They said, man, I'll die in these streets. I want to die. I want to die in Chicago. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's people like that. It's people like that. I want to get out the hood. I want better. That's how people going. It's always going to be that spectrum. You know what I'm saying? So it's like to be able to change that and have another whole new spectrum where it's this side and that side, it's probably going to be a place of where like maybe we can have connection, and communion, but it's maybe of more of a side of like we all about, you know, being together, just us, and we all about, you know, being with a poly and connection of our relationship. It's just a tide is gonna have to change to create a new force, but that takes time, and it's like you said, the moon was conjunct Lilith. So for that change to happen, it gotta happen internally and then be spread for like a new wave for everybody to get used to it. Because it's like they not used to it. It's something that's like shamed upon. So for something shamed upon to be brought into toward a so-called normal day-to-day life, it has to be like they do with celebrities, right? We pay attention to the celebrities like it's stars. So the celebrities basically show us what we want to do and what we can't do. And everybody gonna be like, yeah, you know, so-and-so, you know, they don't do that no more. So-and-so do this. And that's how we follow along. So it's like we can have people that push, oh yeah, we push marriage and, you know, we poly. Or we don't do that, but we have this. It's like it's going to create a whole new effect.
Yeah, I would say it got a lot to do with projection. I think, you know, no point intended, but it's not a coincidence that Black folks in the word shadow kind of are the same. You know, we got a big black shadow that we got over us, you know, and we try to put it on each other, and it ends up in the worst situations. We get subjugated to shit, you know. We all are chasing after the same apple, you know, when it's a plethora of apple trees on the planet, and it just looked goofy as fuck. It just looked goofy as fuck. And I do think a big part of it deals with like the lack of identity. You know, people do like saying Black culture, but how deep is that? You know,
what is it actually? What are we actually talking about?
Because you can't tell me it's about basketball players and singers and actors, you know, because that's usually where you fall into, where you say something about fashion, you know. Mm-hmm. I think it would be cool if you were still talking about the 80s when we had Black folks creating or shit from the 80s back to the 30s, like George Washington Carver, Garrett Morgan, you know, people like that, you know, Madam C.J. Walker, like that was somewhat of a culture, you know, because those people probably knew that they were Moors, you know, probably knew that they were Indigenous Americans, and really carried themselves as so, you know. I think what some Black folks don't get is that when you really know who you are, it don't matter what society is saying to you. You know, you're just going to see the world in a certain way, and then from there, you're going to relate to the world in a certain way. Right now, we relate to the world based off of, you know, social media, you know, and other things. But I'm gonna just say, just mass media. I'll just say that, mass media. We relate to the world like that, you know. So you got the world, us, and how we relate to it. So imagine if you seeing yourself as something different, and that changes how you see the world, and then you relate to the world in a different way, and it's just a complete 360 once you really have that knowledge yourself. And I think it's just a lack of knowledge yourself, and then just projecting that on each other, and then it's a ping pong game of just projection, and you know, these capitalistic companies, you know, really just capitalizing on it, you know, seeing it as a way to make money off of Black folks. Black folks is responsible for spending like over $1 trillion annually. Like
that's what they say.
But what they call Black Friday, right? Too, we get hit with hard.
That too, but like $1 trillion, bruh. $1 trillion can solve all our problems.
Yeah, they say we need reparations, but it's over 1 trillion. It's 1.6 trillion.
That shit is insane, dog.
Projected to grow to 1.8 trillion by 2024. So it's not to say we don't have the money. It's just what are we spending the money on? That would be the main thing.
And it's crazy because it's like they always say, you know, as a kid, they always just tell me like, yeah, you know, it's not. You think it's a lot of black people around, but it's not. And it's like you see shit like this, and they be like, man, what do y'all be talking about?
Nah, that's real. I like traveling. You start to realize it ain't that many black people in this bitch. You know, as compared to white people, it's a lot of white people in this motherfucker, man. It's a lot of whiteys up in this joint.
You feel like that? You know?
At the end of the day, the black man has been raised to be an individual, and black people don't like to cooperate. That's all I got on that, bro.
Let's go, Top Slime.
Again, education and economics. Education and economics. You got to train the children in the art of being a Pan-Africanist, and at the same time, you got to be able to empower your people with money. You can make every black person in Toronto loyal to black people. You can get all the brothers to give up their white girlfriends overnight simply by being able to do what? Empower them economically. If a young brother come to you, he got a white wife, and he says, yo, I want to open up this store. I ain't got no money. And if you say, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to do your down payment. I'm going to do your first 6 months rent. But guess what? You got to leave Sally Mae today. Sally Mae's gone. That pale penguin is out. You see, when money talks, the bullshit walks. The problem with us as African people is we want our people to be loyal without having no opportunity.
Yes,
be loyal to being black when the black community does nothing for me.
Yes, that
see,
is true.
Jewish kids, it's easy for a Jewish kid to be loyal to being Jew because he can get everything from the community. It's easy for the Chinese kids to be loyal. They can get it from their own community. What can a black child get from us? Nothing. Until we are able to empower them economically, it's going to be difficult for them to dig in and be with us. You got to give them a reason to be proud to be black. History is great. But guess what's greater than history for our young people? Opportunity.
Yes.
When I go speak in the prisons, the prisons are filled with black men and women who have knowledge of self. They've read more books than we read. You understand? Wow. They don't need a Dr. Umar lecture because that's all they've been studying for the past 12 years in jail. Wow. Yeah. So if you are this intelligent, how in the hell did you get into jail? Because despite knowing about the pyramids, despite reading all the Dr. Clark's books, despite watching all the DVDs, I couldn't find a job. And so I had to ski mask up and rob somebody in order to feed my kids. What good is knowledge of self if it don't come with an opportunity to do better?
Man, what is the translation between spirituality and money? What you about to say, Bruce?
I just think that those folks that he talking about ended up learning during being in prison, not prior.
Facts.
You know, I mean, maybe he didn't mean to word it like that, you know, but I just wanted to say that.
Huge facts. Niggas do not be reading Dr. Clark when they out on the streets. Let's just keep it out. Let's just keep it a buck.
I didn't know who Dr. Henry Clark was until I was how old am I? I didn't know who he was until like 6 years ago.
They worry about a switch, homie.
It's so totally like, I'm sorry, trigger alert. It's so disingenuous. First of all, we know that man is still trying to ante up for this fake fictitious school, right? Second, like this idea that we still are gonna peddle this Pan-Africanism to every melanated person on the planet, that's the trigger part for me. Like, come on, bro. Like, come on. All right. And then, you know, to talk about the dudes who are in jail because they had to ski mask up the feet, that's a lie. That's a lie, bro. Like, there's no way in hell you gonna tell me you had to rob and take it from somebody else. There's no way. I've been in those trenches. I was born. I come from the mud. I come from the mud. Mayonnaise sandwiches and sugar water without Kool-Aid mix. Like, I come from that, right? And none of my niggas went out and robbed and killed nobody, bro. Like, listen, I know people that have, but this idea that we keep purporting to the masses that I had to do this is why I'm serving 15 years. No, let's be real. A lot of them niggas had demonology in them, right? And they was gonna do that shit whether they needed to feed their family or not, right? That's number one. But two, this
poverty don't always equal crime.
Huh?
Poverty don't always equal crime.
Nah, it don't. It don't, bro. So like that needs to be stopped, pedaled, and pushed to our people too. But this Pan-African shit, and then this idea that we don't have any places where we could commingle and congregate because we can't pay for a whole building, bro. I just think the people running around with these same talking points are extremely disingenuous, and they shouldn't even have microphones in front of them. But I digress.
1% of the population is responsible for 63.2% of all violent convictions. So we got to be very careful with the generalization of crime and criminals, because you're not talking about the majority. If we have conversations on the minority, we do ourselves a disservice in the confines of history, because the great men that have existed on the planet, in the planet right now, they not getting no burn. They not getting no conversation. So in the context of dating, it could be a great man right in front of you, but if he don't equate to a certain level of minorityship, then it's like he not that guy. But it's like that guy is such a minority. Even like the narcissistic person that's just about money, all about himself, that's rare too. So it's like the majority of men that's just normal, regular, not on no bullshit, they gonna have it the hardest, because people like Dr. Umar, he's only gonna speak to the minority as if it is a normalcy. Like, niggas is in jail with knowledge of self just don't make sense. Like, it don't make sense. Like, it don't make sense, but neither here nor there. I guess, I feel like Dr. Umar, he be trying, man, but it's a lot of scam in him, man. He can't, I don't think he ever gonna share the scam out of his DNA.
Yeah, he triggers me so much, bro. Like, honestly, bro, he reminds me of the Israelites screaming on the corner on Fulton Street, bro. Like, it drives me insane, bro, that this dude is still getting the microphone, but then again, look at what they putting on TV, bro.
It's a key word what you said, man, but I'm not gonna repeat it. That's but yeah.
So, man, in this greater scheme, in this greater context where, we have, I guess just a segue, it was this conversation that was taking place online between Shaq and Angel Reese. And it seemed as though, Shaq is old enough to be Angel Reese's father in real life. Like, period, point blank. Shaq is in his 50s. Angel Reese is in his early 20s. And he was not talking to her like a mentor-mentee. He was talking to her like a sugar daddy, sugar baby type of deal. And so, is this okay for an older man to talk to a younger woman in this way? And so y'all might not know what I'm talking about.
And you.
So I'm gonna bring it to the stage. We're gonna show a couple of clips and react to it. And really, I just want us to really listen to how these two people is talking to each other. Because the thing that I noticed, and I wonder if y'all notice it too, I'll wait till the video is over and let's see if we picked up the same thing.
And you.
Oh yeah, like the video if you like the video. Put a 1 in the chat if you enjoying a live stream. I know y'all be, it's people watching, but y'all don't be in the chat. That get me a little nervous. But throw a 1 in the chat. Let me know you here. Let us know you watching. Let us know you engage. And like the video. It helps the channel. It helps the platform the most. And also, join the Discord. Join the Discord. Join the Discord. We're trying to get it over 200 people. And we need y'all help. So be the 200th. And Sacred Serpent will give you a sacred massage.
And you don't strike.
Not the homies though. Let's be clear. Only the Divine Films.
And you don't strike this from the tape, Christian.
We ain't striking it.
Don't. Let me tell you, if you just lower like that to where it gives you ability to dunk, bro. Imagine you.
I'm not imagining.
Let me finish. Imagine you in the same little shirt you had on at the Wild 'N Out show, dunking. You know how many t-shirts you gonna sell, cuz? You tripping.
Oh my
what?
God.
What?
Oh God.
The same little shirt you had on.
Okay. All right.
Bro.
So he's saying like Wild 'N Out, like the Nick Cannon show.
I'm about to show you. Give me 1 second. All right. This is what she wearing.
Well, he said she was wilding out because she had it.
Oh yeah,
no. This was the Wilding Out in Chicago. That's probably not the best picture.
Okay. Nah, we get it. We get it.
She had cheeks out. So he's like, what if y'all play basketball with cheeks out? And she's like, yo, that's crazy. But she's not like, nigga, what the fuck is you talking? Like, if that's my daughter and that's Shaq, I want her to be like, oh, that's nigga, shut the fuck up. Don't be talking to me like that. But she just like, where's her daddy at?
Right.
Can we like, what is going on? Where is Angel Reese daddy at? Because I'm gonna have to talk to Shaq after this. What's in the chat if you got to talk to Shaq after this conversation? Like, I'm in the back room watching it. Like, oh yeah, this is what we doing. Who is Angel Reese's father?
Yo, my guy,
Michael Reese, with whom she does not have a close relationship with. Clearly,
I like how they pulled that shit up like that.
Clearly.
That boy Shaq said, "Fuck shooting, I'm a dunker." He said, "I get straight to it."
This shit interesting to me. Let's look at the second one.
If you was to choose for me to date somebody, you always sending me stuff talking about you better not be dating this person.
Yeah, you better not.
You want me to be single forever?
No.
So when do you want me to find a man?
What type of man you looking for?
I'm not looking for a man.
You have to be looking for something.
I'm looking just for happiness in life.
No.
Oh my God.
See, y'all be putting stuff out, but y'all don't be making sense.
Tell me.
You have to tell me what you're looking for.
I'm not looking.
You have to look.
Why?
What do you want your husband to be? You want him to be smart?
A high caliber man, yes.
What does that mean? I don't know what that means, high caliber man.
A smart.
Okay. You want him to be nice?
Nice.
You want
genuine.
All day?
What? No, he cannot do that.
Okay, so.
He cannot be a house husband.
Now you're entering the danger zone.
Yeah, I like danger.
You want him to be good looking. Okay, so now other people gonna flirt with him. They be like, "Hey, Missy."
No. I want some people to think my man is attractive. Yes.
Okay, but if he's out, like if you're working on the game and he's sitting in the sand, and the girl, is going like this.
He shouldn't be. He's gonna be sitting on the court.
Okay, well, all right. If he's sitting on the court and the girl goes like this and do this,
he's gonna look.
Okay.
Because he's a man.
Okay, but
that doesn't mean act on it.
Are you gonna be mad if he's looking?
He better not be like.
See.
He could take a if he's a man. If
Okay, but you either want this man or you want that man.
no, I'm telling you,
Man in the middle.
it is a man in the middle.
So my point is, you have to decide what do you want.
Serpent, man. You told us to look at this shit, man. What is really going on in the hood, bro?
First of all, she with the shits, all the way with the shits.
You picked up what you see. That was my secret. Like, I wonder if y'all speak how she was receptive to the bullshit.
Yeah, because even when she stops him from answering a particular question, because he sound like he getting a little bit too freaky with the words, she still wraps around and come right back to the same shit, right? She is totally with the shits. Every time he opened his mouth, she got nothing but a big smirk on her face, right? So here's the thing. In society says that there's nothing wrong with this. She is above 18, and clearly he is above 18. Now, right now, if we're talking about right versus wrong, well, that's probably a personal decision, right? Because again, at the end of the day, these are still two consenting adults, right? Now, moralistically, Shaq should be ashamed of himself. But if Shaq doesn't have those particular morals, who am I to say anything about these fucking morals anyway, right? Like that's not for anybody else to say. Again, these are two consenting adults. Nobody had a problem with Hugh Hefner. Nobody ain't got a problem with Bill Belichick. Matter of fact, could you pull up how Bill Belichick's girlfriend is?
Bill Belichick's girlfriend. I don't even know about this. You showing me something that I ain't hip to. Bill Belichick girlfriend. He's still coach for Patriots or
now he just sportscasting now.
Yeah, I thought he wasn't doing nothing. I always thought Bill Belichick to just be somebody that'll go home and plug himself up to the wall till it's time to leave back out the house.
I thought my boy was just watching film all day. I thought he was just a coach's coach. Don't tell me he cracking 23-year-olds out the park, 72 and 23. That's 50 years. That's a 50-year age gap. That's a 50-year age gap, my boy. That's a 50-year age gap, my boy.
Okay. So what we talking about with Shaq? What we talking about with Shaq and Angel Reese? This is a normal thing. This is a normal thing. Regardless of how it's going to shock y'all system, this is a normal occurrence.
Damn. I don't know what to say. I'm speechless.
I'm just saying.
I honestly don't know what to say because it's like if your daughter is 23 and she got a 72-year-old sugar daddy, are you cool with it? What can you say? Can you not, like, what do we say to our daughters because my daughter, man, she'll be 1 in December. 1.
I got a 19-year-old and
That's crazy.
I'm sorry, bro. She is an adult. The most I could do is hope that the instructions she got up until this point would not have her doing that. However, on the flip side, she's an adult. What am I going to do? Spank her? You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. Is there an easy quick answer to this?
For some reason, and I'm not condoning this. It's kind of funny, but I'm just thinking like, man, if I was Jordan Hudson's dad, I would just disrespect Bill Belichick so crazy in front of her to the point where it's like,
the gloves is off. The gloves is off.
Another 23-year-old.
I would do some real trifling shit to him, but I can't say nothing to my daughter.
Like smack him with a bag of dog shit, and then you know what I mean, just some just some other shit, man.
You remind me of this one show when dude had put a bag of shit on their porch and set it on fire.
Yeah, some shit like that.
You know the shit when you walk behind a nigga and you clip his legs. You know what I'm saying? Like,
oh yeah, but that shit used to start fights all the time.
Yeah,
right.
I just wait till I was behind the nigga on the flight of stairs.
Bruh.
So we talking about
consenting adults, bro. At the end of the day,
but we talking about morals, and we're talking about the dynamics and the rules between black men and black women. And you know, I wouldn't necessarily say there's nothing wrong with it. Versus, like, if Shaq married Angel Reese, I would be like cool with it. But if he flirting and being derogatory and sexualizing her and objectifying her, then that's the problem that I have with any man and any woman, if she's 22 or 82, because ultimately you setting the tone for the rest of the world. So what Luke did with the stripper girls is he okayed it for girls to shake their ass and perpetuity. I think that's the word.
Perpetuity. Yep.
Perpetuity. When Luke said it's okay, don't stop, pop that pussy. That was the first time as a young black man I ever seen women do that. Ever just express themselves in that way. And it never stopped since the early 90s. And that's objectification. But if we at this low state as black people, we got to begin to talk to especially young women like they're human beings and not sexual objects, even if she wearing shorts with her ass out, for lack of better words. I'ma still act like you didn't do that, and I'ma act like
nah. Can you pull up the see-through joint? Can you pull up the see-through joint she wore? She wore lingerie outside, bro. No, outside. No, she got a black one, an all black joint that she wore to a game, bro. So listen, the only pushback I would say is that we could talk about these morals and be 1000% right, but what happens when that person doesn't want to hear?
She be giving it up sexy. What is going on? Come on, it might get X-rated if I scroll down any further. Oh, Shorty be giving it up mad crazy. She want niggas to see that ass, bro. That's crazy. Michael Reese, bro. You should have showed up for Angel, bro. You should have been there getting rebounds, bro. Because look at your daughter out here on the internet going, wow. With no guardrails.
Yo, he gotta feel like Larry Fishburne. You know, Larry Fishburne John is in the strip club too.
Lawrence, Larry Fishburne.
Montana Fishburne.
Wait, sentence?
She did some probation.
What is going on?
It's crazy out here, man.
It's crazy in these streets, bro.
Montana Fishburne, I think she did porn.
Yeah, she did little porn. Yeah, I didn't want to say it like that, but yeah, she did porn.
Sex work? Okay. Montana Fishburne explains what led to porn. Like, bro was acting in goddamn The Matrix while his daughter was being caught up in it. Like, come on, bro. We gotta have some goddamn balances going on.
Damn.
Prostitution past of Lawrence Fishburne's porn star daughter. Like, niggas gotta just read these headlines as they go and get their coffee in the morning, and it's like, fathers, take care of
you on your way to the video shoot, and you gotta look at that on the front news. Can you imagine that? You shooting a movie and the stuntman is watching your daughter in the background and shit. They like, yo, you know who his daughter is?
My man said red pill or the blue pill, but he should have did that to his wife. He gave your daughter said, "I want the blue pill, Daddy." I heard that get him hard. Like, wait, hold on, man. It gotta be a barrier and a boundary in this shit because we gonna let the Matrix get everybody. Like, we just
and don't let us go to Magic Johnson's son and Dwayne Wade's son. Like,
oh man, that's deep and dark. Now you going deep and dark into the Matrix. Man,
this is where we at right now, 2024. This is where we at. Everything goes. Everything goes.
Man, we supposed to be having points to talk about. This shit, I don't even know what to say, man.
My bad, Breezy, because I ain't never had you speechless.
Like, I'll be like,
that's an engineer. He got 10,000 words for everything. So if you let him speechless, something is wrong.
You know what's interesting though? A lot of us, if we go back and look at our grandparents, like marriage license, a lot of our grandfathers was like 25 and our grandmothers was 14. You know, when my dad's parents got married, my grandmother was 14 and my grandfather was 21. And then my grandmother's mother, her parents was they were closer in age, but it was still like a 20-year-old with a 16-year-old. It was always a big gap, you know. And I'm talking about my grandmother's was born in my dad's mother, who was married when she was 14. My grandfather was like 24. She was born in 1935. So we talking about 1880, you know, 1870, when this was just like
I got a small little nugget to add to that, big bro. So you know how melanated people love to prop up this idea of being kings and queens, right? How many of them would still prop that up if they knew that most of the queens that were given to these kings were 15, 16? That motherfucker might have been on the throne for 30 years, right?
Right.
That's how royalty works, right?
Mm-hmm.
Especially when they wanted to combine certain families together, they wait for this family to produce a woman and wait till she got to 14, 15, and then marry her off. Right?
So you really talking about how they was really using relationships to conduct business across nations now.
This is where it started.
Libra,
this is the oasis of where this shit started, bro. We're gonna keep it all the way above. We gotta go all the way back and keep it above. This shit ain't new. You know what I'm saying? Hugh Hefner was 80 years old with 19-year-old Playboy playmates. This is a fact.
Nah, this shit.
This is a fact.
Nah, and even in this country, you can
Look
get
at
married at 12 if you live in Alabama. Yo.
Look, no, for real. My dad's parents, both of them are from Huntsville, Alabama.
Oh man.
Now let one of those families be destitute and need money. Right? Come on, bro. They marrying their kids off to get that bread. Come on, bro. Marriage is a business.
16 is the age of consent for a lot of states in America.
16, bro. So if you can get married at that age, also meaning you're going to have to consort with your partner at that age, right? 9 times out of 10, your partner is going to be old.
Nah, this shit is crazy, dog. I'm not even to the point where my brain is processing this. Like, I've seen this before, but imagine like if the age of consent was 13 in this country.
That shit is 13 in third world countries.
Not even third world. Europe, Italy. The age of consent is 13. You can get married at 14 in Italy today.
Today, bro. What age did they marry Aaliyah?
She was like 14, 15, 16, something like that.
Yeah, because her parents took her to R. Kelly. Y'all want to blame R. Kelly for that? Her parents gave her to R. Kelly. They did it in court. That's documented, by the way.
And then they got the backlash and they tried to do a double back flip back. And, everybody looked at crazy.
Yeah,
but it was money on the line. Because it was millions of dollars on the line. And this is a crazy conversation. But I was thinking about how Foxy Brown, she never said nothing about Jay-Z. Because remember going to school and it was 16, 17-year-old girls in school that was not fucking with none of the niggas in the school. Can we talk about that?
Yep.
She had the earrings and the outfits.
Yeah, when I was growing up, those girls was messing with college dudes and dudes that had jobs.
Or grown ass men. Niggas working at the factory and shit with a young broad at high school. So it's just like all of this type of shit, picking her up from school, all of this wild shit. And it's like, yo.
It's like the only reason I brought all this stuff up, big bro, is because when you say morals, I say I agree. However, if you don't have any tangible evidence that morals actually existed with any of the people that came before you, it's no wonder that this shit trickled down to the effect that it has right now today. It's no wonder.
Right.
But we raising these people like kids though. They having sex, but they not wives and husbands. They just kids having sex though. You know?
Damn. It's no idea of chastity or the importance of it.
Not at all. Not now. And how do y'all build without sex? How do y'all deal? And not saying like, I know y'all deal with women outside of sex, but what does that look like for a spiritual man to be with a woman and try to build with her outside of the fixation and what was between her legs?
When you actually have a real conversation with a person, see earlier, I'm gonna get on use a oop off what Serpent said earlier, and it's true when you really talk to people, even for men. But a lot of people, especially women, tell you who they are when you really conversate with them. When you sometimes put aside your lust and your cravings in sex and get to know a person or just talk with people, most of the time you get zapped out of that when you hear a lot of people's mindset, especially what they be on. You be like, nah, man. Yeah, she cool though, but nah, man. Her head, like I'm talking about her mindset. Get niggas out the gutter.
Yeah, it's super weird, bro, because the evidence doesn't support the things that people actually need. You know what I'm saying? Like the shit that people actually need to get from up under this shit, the fucking history doesn't support that shit.
To get up under what?
I said get up from up under this shit. You know, like the way how this debaucherous nature exists, like the evidence is not there for us to get up from up under this, so it's gonna have to be something that we actually do now going forward, as opposed to looking back and trying to draw from the past. Like the only thing you're gonna draw from there is that the motherfuckers didn't get it right.
Yeah.
Let's deal with this
Mars.
spiritually, though. Let's deal with it spiritually because you said debauchery. Which go ahead, Jabri, and I'll go after you.
I was just about to say Neptune square Mars, or Neptune trine Mars. You know, it's kind of like one of those, you know, generational traumas. You know, people, and that's the thing is that type of trauma has been normalized, where you have, you know, a grown ass man with a girl, you know, and it's just, you know, who knows what the fuck our grandmothers went through, you know what I mean, being 14 in the South, married to a 25-year-old man, you know, and my dad, mama had 10 kids, you know, but like looking at the chart, it just makes me think that it's something deeper. It's something that's like beyond our current experiences. And I think it deals a lot with how we make that sacral energy sacred again. You know, how do we literally protect it, you know, from the Mars aspect of not of like sex, but of an aspect of war, you know, because I think it's a certain level of warfare. You know, even the strategies of war is to give your daughters to the men of your enemies to make peace, to really say, you know, to really prove like we not about to break the agreement, you know, your son marrying my daughter, you know, which is sex. You using sex in order to get peace, you know, by way of, you know, the generations before. So it's almost like you sacrificing a generation just for peace, you know, or just to get over, you know, on a certain level. But I think, you know, kind of going back to the first thing you were saying, you know, when you're talking to the women that you know, I always say that the most powerful aspect is their discernment, you know, keeping, you know, to use like PG language, keeping your flower, you know what I mean, as long as you can, I think is one of the best things you can do for yourself spiritually, you know, because I swear you let the wrong person in there is you probably gonna fuck up your life. You gonna fuck up your life. You don't know, especially if it's a dude that you just having casual sex with. You don't know where his dick been. Let's be honest. You don't know
Let's
where it been.
keep it a buck, baby.
You don't know where it's been, man.
Let's keep it 100.
And what is there for him to even be honest about?
You giving it to him easy.
And it made me think of that video of Tupac when he had the leather vest on, and y'all need to go back to jacking off. I know we talk about like not doing it, but like if you really gotta get one, you need to just do that, you know, because fucking with a person can change your whole life for the worse, and now you gotta live your life out and come back as a stupid baby to try to get this shit right in the next lifetime. But I say all that to say, I think, you know, for men and women, just having that discernment, you know what I mean, like, and having that restraint and having that understanding that your sexual energy is sacred energy and is more than just to physically feel good. You know, you can literally create whatever you deem should fit in your life through that type of energy. And I'm saying that from like Mars in the first decan of Cancer, you know, it's like, man, that sacred energy, your sexual energy is your tie to your ancestors. It's your tie to your soul. You know, like sex is what brought us into this reality. Like sex is a lot more deeper than just Shaq flirting with Angel Reese. You know, that's some bastardization of like sexuality. You know, and Angel Reese don't know no better. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sure niggas talk to her like that all the time. You know, she might feel, what's the word? Like, damn, I can't think of the word. But she may feel
encouraged,
but like, validated, spoken to in that way, you know. But I think it's a war on sex.
Now, I'm glad you brought that up, bro, because that connects to Hood's moralistic ideal for this, right? Because morally, that's where the moral thing comes in. You're talking to a woman who's not fully developed in the brain yet, right? So she doesn't have a relationship with a structured parent like a father to understand the discipline that she needs to have around men, especially successful, high-value men, right? 2, she couldn't possibly understand what she would get herself into if she even embarked on a relationship like that with somebody like that, of that caliber, right? Because she couldn't mentally connect those dots. She hasn't lived long enough to have that experience to understand what he's actually looking for and what she's actually going to end up getting from it. You know what I'm saying? Now, on the debauchery point you wanted to talk about, Hood, I would say this. What is the number of melanated women that have children versus the number of melanated men that have children?
Bro, let me cook real quick. Because yeah. Mercury is in Scorpio. Venus is in the 3rd decan of Scorpio. Okay? Mercury and Venus is in Scorpio. So in reference to what you are saying, the truth is this. We are in this society where you're not about to get a virgin, period. Why is that a problem then? Because Yesod or Scorpio is the foundation. And if you do not have a foundation, you don't have a building.
Cook.
So if your foundation is built upon, I can have sex with anybody that I want to, you cannot build a house or a successful relationship with that concept. Now, a woman can have this idea, I can have sex with whoever I want to, but once I get into a relationship, I'm going to change. That's where you're going to fuck up at. This is the truth. It could be 1 year, it could be 5 years, it could be 10 years, it could be 20 years. But eventually, she'll wake up and say, this is not what I want. So where does this come from? This comes from the 3rd decan of Scorpio, where Venus is ruled and Venus is exalted in this decan. It rules this decan. What does it talk about? The 7 cups are standing for the waters of delusion, the clouds of intoxication, the emotional waters are rotting in the depths of destiny. They have fallen from the grace of Tifereth. Going on. The 7 of Cups also talks of the human desire to experience the unknown. So when this is, I can't mince words. So this is going to sound like I'm being mean, but I'm not being mean. I'm only being honest. When you have sex with a man that is not your husband, it opens up Pandora's box. And now you want to experience better sex. The reality of the man that loves you won't have the best sex in your life. So what you're doing is you giving this man a chance by being with you, because you know within the recesses of your subconscious mind, you can get better dick because you had better dick. Because we are that women can have sex with whoever they want to, and men can have sex with whoever they want to. Now, when you have this basis of having sex with whoever you want to, you create the desire to have sex with whoever you want to. It might not be blatant. It might take a long time to get there, but they all get there because this is the problem when your foundation is casual sex. The wish to escape the plain old reality. Find a better world somewhere in fantasy, but it shows clearly the dangers of such mind games when the dreaming turns into a hapless run away from life. back to the original conversations that we were having, how relationships require work. Period, point blank. Libra is where you get married at. The sex, it should be balanced out through the mental. But if the sex is the primary, you have no mental, you have no passion, you have no physicality. We have a bunch of people that have experienced sex. What did you get from it? What did you gain from it? How did you benefit from it? What was so good about it? It only creates emotional damage to you, period, point blank. Because a lot of the girls that's having sex, only 1% of y'all is even going to open up an OnlyFans. Y'all not going to sell that thing on Pornhub. You got integrity. Oh, hood, I can never be on OnlyFans. I can never be on Pornhub. I want to have sex in the dark. But you having it anyway. This is debaucherous. This is what you have to deal with in this particular energy. And ultimately, if you can't get to the core of this shit, where somebody is meeting you in reality, and it's like, oh, I love you so much. You so good to me. And you such a great man. You got your money together. You this, you that. You fulfilling a fantasy for the moment. But then once you get into the real aspects of the relationship, 50% of relationships end in divorce. 70 to 80% of divorces are filed by women because they are not happy in the relationship, because nobody ever said that they were supposed to be happy in a relationship, but yet and still the work is not being done in the relationship. And a lot of times people will be like so mad, so angry, so upset in their relationship because their relationship is some fantasy. It's supposed to be this great, big, good, amazing thing. And the reality is that no, it requires work every day, all day. You got to cook, clean, make money every single day, take care of the kids. Shit not glamorous. And if you don't do it, who the fuck going to do it?
But it also takes unabridged honesty.
Facts. And that's all. That's why I'm saying what I'm saying. And then do your research on your side, being the foundation, and where is it located, and how do you connect to your ancestors? How do you connect to your children? Through your side. And postpartum depression is why you might not even be able to connect with your mom. Your mother, who's supposed to nurture you and guide you, she got to deal with her own shit because your side is not built up as a foundational piece. One more point and I'll stop. A lot of times we think that once you have the baby, a switch is going to click off in your head that's going to get you in order. We know that's not true because look at our community and look at the single parent households that is struggling because that switch never clicks. It's so important to have successful relationships and build this stuff up. But if you're not able to actually connect to this person sexually and emotionally, it's a ticking time bomb. And men, you gotta know it and you gotta feel it because you cannot be yourself. Because she's not really committed to you. She's committed to the idea of you. And if that idea don't fit into the mold, that's where the fantasy and the emotional part come in. So I just seen all of this with Venus being in the third decan right now, and everything that we was talking about, and you saying debaucherous is like, oh yeah, this is right in alignment. The morals, there are no morals, but the morals is fucked up because the lack of morals is normal for us. That's what fucks it up for us as a culture.
You want to go back to the chart for me, Hood?
Yeah, I couldn't have said that shit better myself. I shade, bro.
Yeah, because I was wondering what that Venus was opposed, and it's opposed Jupiter. So it's like you really gonna have a real big tie to that energy if you don't get under control. And it's like, thing is, you low-key gonna be settling for less so you can just get some play.
Yep.
I know a lot of niggas that we talking about, yeah, the 3 a.m. chick responded.
Nick, you know the nigga is looking for something that's just in his proximity. Like as long as you in his proximity, like he can justify smashing.
The sevens in both the 7 of disc and the 7 of Scorpio, or 7 of waters, or 7 of cups, they all speak to a falling from the natural grace that God has given us. And you know, we could sit and scratch our heads all day about what's wrong with us, and it's the preoccupation with sex in your 20s. That's going to fuck your life up as a black man. Period, point blank. Focus on your purpose, focus on your mission, leave these hoes alone till you get on your feet. Because they're not gonna help you get on your feet in your 20s.
And if you put that together, big bro, with the fact that most of y'all are being force-fed so much fucking estrogen in your diet, holy fucking shit.
I'm telling you, man.
Made me think of the saying,
they got too much estrogen in their fucking system, and you spent most of your 20s and 30s running around just trying to get boxed.
Wanting your mom to love you, but they don't want to talk about that part. But you trying to find your mother's love through these thoughts, and you confused at why it ain't showing up with that love.
That mother archetype, bro. Talk about that mom archetype.
That mother wound is deep. So we gotta actually, like, if you really think about it, man, you gotta have some type of moral code. At first, you know, into spirituality, Brother Panic, Bobby Emmett, man, I was down for whatever. That shit don't work. Just if we just meditating and burning candles with no moral code, talking about it's all spiritual, that shit is dead. Cause them niggas be doing coke and all types of drugs in Atlanta. The spiritual community, yeah. Drug addicts.
Yeah, get up and do a ritual just because you feel like it? Nah.
We gotta act like we have some type of code, some type of ethics, or else it's not even real. There's no foundation with no code, no ethics.
You know, if you don't stand for something, you willing to fall for anything?
That's what they say.
You know, when the Lord led the children of Israel out of Egypt and into the wilderness, the first thing that had to be set was morals. The first part of the 10 Commandments was morals. You spent most of your life, i.e. our great-grandparents, in bondage, not knowing who they are, being subjugated to all kind of shit, you know, doing abhorrent things, just debauchery, you know. And once you
broke down, I would just wonder, have you ever broke down the 10 Commandments esoterically, Jabri?
No, I haven't.
I was gonna say, was you finna get into how it's relating to the 10 Sephiroth hood?
No, I was just asking. I just had that one question. Go ahead.
No, you could say that. But I was just saying, like, through the progression, you know, the first aspect of it was the morals before it was anything that dealt with spirituality. Because how could you be a moralist people? That's just like, you know, eating from the tree of good and evil and eating from the tree of life.
Serving two masters.
Now, this allows me to ask the question. If you don't have morals for yourself, how the fuck do you talk about morals for other people? Like, how does that work? I'm asking for a friend. You know what I'm saying? Like, how does that even work? If you don't even have personal morals, but you look outward and point out the morals that other people need to have. Holy shit.
I mean, it makes a lot of sense because in this world, there is no code for Black people. There are no rules to relationships. And it's emotions. It's I loved him so much. I loved her so much. We had a vibe. We connected. We clicked. But there is no discipline. There is no function. There is no goals. And then we'll double back and say, man, I was traumatized by him, or I was traumatized by her. She was so narcissistic. And I've learned, right? I'm not about to be with nobody and we not operating off an ethic and a code and a direction. If you're not with it, then fine. But it's easy to be with somebody when you operating off a code. It's like iffy 50-50 when you just kind of winging it, vibing with a chick. That it almost seemed like it's not real, especially when it's over. It's like this person was in your space, like some passing, like you was in a car just driving by something, just never was with you. It's wild when you think about it.
Yeah, I didn't even know how we got here, but I think that was some shit that we needed to get out.
Mm-hmm. Man, I know these conversations is tough, and I know that if we gonna have a relationship show, it's gonna be sensitive subjects and sensitive topics, and also conversations that don't nobody want to have. But at the end of the day, you're gonna have to shake the dice a little bit.
I mean, that's what separates us from everybody else.
Yeah, I'm like, at least we're not up here like trying to have fucking debates and arguments and trying to get clout. It's like we actually trying to bring like actual solution, actual thought, actual talk around it. We trying to invite people in so we all could expand and discuss views, and then we're relating it through astrological archetypes that relies to the mindsets of people.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not gonna view how you view, so I'm not gonna judge you though.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
Niggas be ready to judge you, make clout off you, and make fun of you on their show to get views. Nah, we not about that. Like, we don't got time for that shit. That shit don't make you look cool, make you less than what you is. Trying to belittle somebody to get
look super weird around here.
At a certain level, you gotta believe that you can change the world in order to change the world. And you can sit back and complain about this shit all day long, but you probably had the ability to change some shit if you actually thought that you could, because this world is an agent of change.
It is. It's people who got communities of shit you wouldn't think is a community, but they believed and pushed it and making money and helping people and satisfying people, and then other people bringing other people in. You be like, how they did it? They start and didn't stop.
And they wasn't afraid to have the conversation. We got to do the esoteric breakdown of the 10 Commandments. Maybe we could do that on a Friday show.
Yeah.
Or maybe we could just table it for the future. But I want to look at these.
I was going to say, pull them up right now.
We just put it in the chat. Breeze just put it in the Discord.
Type shit. I didn't even realize that. Hold on. Let me.
It happened while we was talking.
Type shit.
You know, but that's happening when you got a team, man.
Email. Cash App.
The first commandment.
Discord.
Related to Discord.
That first John gave me that Yaldabaoth feel real quick. Like
the first commandment, you shall have no other God before me.
So before we move on, I always felt like that correlated to the astrological principles and understanding the ritual, right? So like if you knew like the sun was in Aries, you know, you shouldn't have no other constellation or thought before that, some type of shit. That's how I kind of felt, you know, looking into it. That was like a hypothesis I had.
I think that one is like the the commandment that sets the precedence for the rest of them. Because it's like, you shall have no other gods for me. That kind of go without saying, but what does that mean? You should not make idols. And I really think we can just stop right there with the idolatry. I think the idolatry is what's misleading for us as individuals, constantly idolizing other people to the point of this person is put up on a pedestal in self-aggrandizement. You know, it's kind of like Baal worship at this point. So that's like what making an idol is. And then you should not take the name of the God, of the Lord your God, in vain. It's just like not being true. It's not being truthful. You could relate it to the Kabbalah, but I don't feel like it really aligned with the Kabbalah like that.
Well, because people always said that the 10 days of the 7 days and 10 days of creation relate to the 10 commandments, and then they say the extra 2 days come from Adam and Eve being in the garden, and then that's how they equate that to the Kabbalah, because then the 10th is the physical realm, Malkuth, being the manifestation of the earth realm.
And that's what makes a lot of sense, because Adam and Eve is a analogy of sex. But then when you bring Yesod into Malkuth, how we come from into Malkuth is through sex, right? Our mom and dad have sex, we come into the world. Mm-hmm. And it's if you read it, it tells her when you have a baby, it's gonna hurt. You know what I mean? It's kind of breaking it down. And back to vain, it means devoid of real value, idle, or unprofitable. So when you talk about God, that is the value. When you talk about God, that is the action. When you talk about God, that is the money. So when you are in a relationship that's not God-centered, what is it centered on? Please let me know in the chat. Let me know on the panel. If your girl is like, I need my nails done, and that's our center, you're in trouble, big dog.
It has nothing to do with God.
Nothing, devoid of real value.
Completely, willfully disregarding God.
Sheesh.
Because I tell you, you're wicked.
And the fourth commandment.
Don't we also live in a society that normalizes that? Just like it's normal to be unhealthy in this society, right? Like, it's normal for melanated people to lead the fucking world in fucking heart disease, right? Like,
one's in the chat if your family ever ate chitlins or pig feet.
Man,
they do all types of butter and hot sauce in it.
One's in the chat if you realize that when you was a kid, you probably wouldn't have known when they fed you fucking pig feet anyway.
Oh no, I knew they told me off the muscle. I had
I'm saying, the kids, the infant babies that they break off a little piece and put it in their mouth. You know what I'm saying? Like, right. You got chitlins before you even knew what chitlins was. Like, that's just what the black family did.
And be happy about it. Oh, he eating steak. Look at him. He a big man. Like,
I used to be thinking in my head, like, damn, they gave a baby a whole piece of steak. I'm like, they still gonna be hurting.
Get that baby some chicken. Like, come on, y'all. Gotta do better.
I think
it's interesting though that the seventh commandment, like the 7 of cups, is you shall not commit adultery.
Listen. Listen. What is adultery? I think everything is metaphysical, right? And it's like, I understand what adultery means on a surface level, But what does adultery mean?
Oh, I would say that simply means thou should not defile oneself. It literally means you should keep yourself as pure as you possibly can. Purification.
Ooh, look at this. Look at this. To alter.
Yeah.
You gonna change your whole life? Ooh, look at that shit, bro.
Oh, it's right in your face too.
It's right in your face. You never gonna be the same again. Letting that man smash because he was sexy. He was sexy. You gave him that coochie. And now you're forever altered. Come on, y'all.
Ooh wee.
I think this is where we insert virtue.
You defile yourself, though.
What is virtue? I went to public school. They didn't teach us what virtue meant.
Full of shit.
Life, conduct.
Is it too hard for, in a general sense, in the way that the culture is, for Black men and Black women to exist in relationships in full virtue?
Without
moral
God,
life and without God, impossible. And I've learned this in my relationship with my wife. I've learned this wholeheartedly. And that's why I'm going to center God in my relationship, win, lose, or draw. Because I can't center nothing else.
Our virtue is with the Lord. On our own, we are not. Virtue.
Especially if you know, like us, we started out in our 20s chasing that box, right? So, like, we trying to.
What they say to you at the cookout? I see you, nephew. Come on, every time you at the cookout, what you hear? nephew, that's you.
That's you, nephew. Okay,
every time you bring a new shorty around the wrong relative, you hear that shit.
Man.
Nephew, that's you.
And then this niggas out here is going, if I don't hear that from Uncle and them, she gotta go.
Let's get into it, man. Bible study on a Wednesday night. Where you gonna get it at? Where you gonna get it at? You ain't getting it nowhere. For this very reason, make every effort to add to your faith goodness, into goodness, knowledge, into knowledge, self-control, into self-control, perseverance, into perseverance, godliness. So what it is saying is that without self-control, you don't even get to that reality of spirituality the way that people putting it out. Because the way that people is putting it out is that you can do whatever you want and spirit will still be there with their hands out, like whatever you say, goddess, whatever you say, most high, God, Shango, reincarnation, you can do whatever you want. You can have sex with all of the thoughts and it'll be perfectly fine.
I think that falls into, that the second commandment, creating idols, praising idols. Because I think a lot of times people don't understand that the narcissism is self-idolization, in my opinion, because you doing something to make yourself grand, and the only thing that is grand is God. The only thing that is monogamous is God. Paramount is God. Certain adjectives only should be used when describing God, but we use these adjectives to describe ourselves, which is false. It creates a false sense of self. And then we see it okay for other people to do it for themselves. And then once that's the thing, I think all these other commandments is easy to do. It's easy to commit adultery when you feel like you God. At least the way you think of yourself. You're not saying you're a God, but I mean, it got to the point where people were calling themselves God, but people already thought of themselves as being that with the word.
Is you hip to the narcissism mythology of narcissists?
Well, you said mythology of narcissists. Oh, I think you're breaking up.
In Greek mythology, Narcissus is a character whose story of falling in love with his own reflection is a cautionary tale about the dangers of excessive self-love.
I never even knew this was a thing. Damn.
Yes, it is a thing. Yes, it is a thing.
Damn.
I think in some places that they saw that mirror as a demon.
It's Kanye West. Cognac West.
You know, they say we're doing.
I think in some cases somebody wanted to cover the whole field, so they put something up just in case.
Mm-hmm.
And when you think about that screen too, we basically got our own personal squires in our hand.
Oh yeah, Instagram baddies and ass shots and BBLs and God is all self idolatry because if I always say you wanting a whole lot for somebody that look halfway decent, you know what I mean? Like it's the reality. Ain't nobody tens. We not tens. You acting like you doing all of the filters, all of the makeup, all the aesthetics. Acting like you look good. Come on now.
Is Baal worship.
Like you learn how to play with too many features on that app, girlfriend.
Man, it's too many apps out here. And it's cool, but you worshiping yourself, baby boo. And we supposed to be worshiping the non-physical creator, intelligent design of this planet, for which we all are bear witnessing to. The sun shining down on the earth, the moon holding back the tides, plant life sprouting up from the earth. Man, it's a wondrous place. And you looking at your goddamn self in the mirror. Make it make sense. And Narcissist is looking over a river or a lake or a body of water like, oh my God, look how beautiful I am. And he ends up dying because he starved himself because he just looking at how beautiful he is and don't see nothing else. Don't see nothing else but himself.
I remember when it was considered gay for a man to take selfies. Like I wish I could count how many selfies I see.
That shit weird. If a nigga got selfies on his goddamn Instagram, you enter into the weird. You got to tell a nigga, hey, man, take this picture real quick. You got to be able to step into that role. Because if you can't step into that role, you lame as a motherfucker, man. You got that goddamn front face camera like this, you lame as hell. You need to tell somebody to take a picture. And if you don't got social skills enough to have somebody take a picture, start there. Do not take a front facing selfie acting like the hoes is going to like it. Just tell they laughing at your goofy ass. Like, look at, like, it's clear to say you thought you was a baddie, bro. You taking a goddamn selfie? Come on, man.
Nigga taking a selfie like a baddie is wild.
He said, "Ooh, they caught you lacking with your pants down."
Talking about how I look. Come on, man. Narcissistic tendencies. Man, we did a 2-hour joint, man. How y'all? What's y'all got anything? Any other ideas? Any thoughts?
They say they love them initiates on a Wednesday night.
I think the initiates done found their groove. Real talk.
They say they love the initiates on a Wednesday.
Hey, Wednesday is our relationship day. Monday is our lunar conversations. Sunday, we coming with the mastermind book study. Friday
is Freaky Friday.
To be determined, man. You might want to watch that show and nothing but your panties, because it might go crazy on Friday. It's in the works, man.
Anything goes on Friday. Anything goes.
Man, yeah.
We're gonna be the first spiritual podcast that you gotta watch with full lingerie on, or else you don't get the full benefit of it.
Man, lease it on the womb steam.
No cat. The niggas got lingerie too. Not these niggas, but
wait
a minute.
Wait.
Yo.
Almost died.
Super galactic pause, nigga. Like not these niggas, but you know, them niggas.
Yeah.
Hey, when I said lingerie, I was gender specific when I said that. I don't think I gotta do a disclaimer. Women should only wear lingerie on our Friday show. It's the Freaky Friday show. And these are just jokes. So I know people will be like, well, I don't like this is making me feel uncomfortable. Laugh and act like I didn't say anything, because that's really the gist of everything that's going down.
That's where we at. This is all in good fun. We do the seriousness, but we gonna lighten the load at the same time too.
At the same time.
The Libra balance that thing out.
Read Psychonaut. What is that? Psychonaut? What's the where he be talking about how laughter is no. I was thinking about this.
Yeah,
shit,
laughter tricks the universe.
Yeah, read the whole Psychonaut series. They really should read the whole Psychonaut series.
Laughter tricks the universe, right?
I was thinking about this. Who was the first two motherfuckers to laugh? What the fuck did they laugh about? Ain't that some crazy shit to think about?
Yeah, I think it was Adam and Eve because I think it was Eve. I think it was Eve and God, because when God came down and he was like, what's wrong? And he was like, I'm naked. It was like, who told you you needed to have clothes on, nigga? Like, I think that was the first laugh. I think so.
It's like, what's wrong with y'all? I gotta go put some clothes on. Nigga, you do got clothes on. What do you mean? Your skin garments.
When you see them like ancient people, like them tribal people, they don't be laughing. Them niggas be dead ass serious. So it's like I don't think laughter is natural. I think laughter is specific to spiritual development and actually growth. Right, because it's like a advanced form of consciousness. Like you might look down at it, but go do a comedy show right now if it's so easy to make motherfuckers laugh. Your ass, you will be traumatized after you did a comedy show. Like it's so hard to do. So if you able to like muster up some laughs, good for you. And if you're taking a conversation too seriously, read the Psychonaut, do some spiritual work, deal with your ancestors, because they all in a circle laughing at your ass with that rose toy going crazy on the Wednesday. What you doing with a rose?
God. Like Kendrick Lamar's song God.
What are you talking about in that?
Laughing.
He laughing, right?
Laughing.
I just thought about that. Like, bro, the first people that ever laughed, I know they was tripping the fuck out. Because remember, you ever just had just a laugh where you and your homie is just like about to fucking pass out because y'all laughing so hard? I just imagine like the first time that ever happened in life. Like niggas actually had to have their mind completely blown.
Bro. I remember me and my cousin was laughing so hard at the dinner table that we forgot what we was laughing about. We just couldn't look at each other in the face. We kept laughing. And I remember my grandma was so mad at us, but we couldn't stop laughing. We just could not stop laughing. Like we made it a point for me to walk in the living room and he walked to the other side of my grandmother's house so we could stop laughing. But and we still talk about that, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, our grandma was sorry because we was having fun, we was kids.
I feel like it had to be some like psychedelic type shit too, because it's like being on the same frequency with somebody. I'm just saying, being on the same frequency with somebody and y'all took them together, y'all laughing about the same shit, and like somebody gonna come around y'all be like, "What's so funny?" And it's gonna be like, "Man, you just ain't gonna understand."
Yeah.
You just wouldn't get it, bro. You just would not understand.
For sure.
Like, and I'm talking about laugh so hard, you crying and wheezing.
Tears coming out your eyes.
Like you feel it in your soul. Like you know what I'm saying? Like you just feel it. She is clothed with strength and dignity. She can laugh at the days to come. Proverbs 31:25. So can we laugh at the future? Can we be happy with the future? Or is our relationships a touchy subject?
If we be
talking about that relationship with your husband,
yeah,
got you something to laugh at.
No, it's something to laugh at, because the biggest joke is that you thought you knew, and then you fucked around and found out when you stayed in a relationship long enough. You know, and then you take the mushrooms, you're gonna laugh to yourself. You're gonna feel like Joker off of Batman or something, man. And then I'm talking from experience, and then you gonna just be like, you know what, man? I was tripping that one day. You remember I said such and such?
You preaching to the choir. That's what you do. You preaching to the choir.
I think laughing is like y'all saying, man. That's an antidote right there to everything, man. Laughter is man, yeah. And I believe that it's comedic value to everything in life.
Yeah, if you don't laugh about this shit will fucking drive you insane. You gotta have the ability.
Real belt to ass.
Some of your shit.
Real belt to ass.
Cause you know you be on bullshit. You gotta be able to laugh at some of that shit, bro.
Yeah.
For real, like you be going out there, pick the stitching cord. You know you gotta laugh about that shit sometimes.
Ecclesiastes 3:4, a time to weep, and a time to laugh, a time to mourn, and a time to dance. Where are you at in your cycle? And the thing that I would warn you, if your ass is always crying and if your ass is always sad, at what point are you going to laugh and dance?
I remember hearing something that some of the most saddest people laugh all the time.
Oh yeah, to cover up the fact that they hurt on the inside.
Yeah.
And you know, when you hang around black people, you know, you get into a vibe where it's the jokester archetype. That's probably the saddest nigga in the crew.
Yeah.
Look, Robin,
why you think the clown got the tear on his face?
Didn't Robin Williams kill himself?
That's what they say, man. That's what they say.
They said that he killed himself. Yeah. That man is one of the funniest people I've ever heard and seen, and he was always laughing. Like anytime we seen him on TV, he was smiling and laughing. Maybe he was covering up what he really felt inside.
This system is a beast because the soul will have you want to like be a car mechanic, and then the system will come and say, "Hey, you want to be an actor and make millions of dollars? How you going to resist that?" So you're going to easily get off your path, and you know the Most High wanted you to be a mechanic, but you didn't. You get caught up in the system too easy, and I'm using that as an analogy because it can be very subtle. You have a purpose and you have a path deep within you, and ignoring it can be detrimental. And that's what I've learned, you know, in my life. You know, what does source say? What do soul have to say? Because if your soul saying you got to leave and you can't be in this situation, follow it.
Yeah, your ancestors and your guides do not want you to go through hell. Like, If life is kicking your ass, figure out a way to change that dynamic any way you possibly can. Because just drowning yourself in the idea and the reality of it ain't gonna do shit about it. Nobody cares about what was me.
It's a part in Blue Magic where I'm right in how nobody changed the world through their emotions. The only thing that changed the world was their actions. And if you ain't strong enough to put your actions down, nobody give a fuck how you feel, man. You got to do that work and get past that because it's only holding you back. You know what I'm saying? It don't have to be a bad life. You know, it don't have to be a bad relationship. It could be a wonderful. Bobby Hemmett said this years ago, and I never really got it, and I'm starting to get it. He said, when you want your relationship to change, you change it within yourself. You don't nitpick your girl and tell her how she ain't shit bitch. She look halfway decent. Take the wig off. You wear eyelashes. That's why I'm so depressed. No, you gotta. If you want her to be natural, find it within yourself and cultivate it, and you will get your dream girl by doing that.
Ashe. That reminds me of something that I said. No, but like, you know, even when you are pointing out things that are true in somebody that's close to you, it's still a level of projection.
99% of the world is projection, bro.
But I'm saying sometimes people just themselves
and I just
they're right.
I mean, 99% of the world's projection. The problem is 99% of the people don't realize it.
Big facts.
Well, I'll do my sign off. Sacred Serpent, Sacred Dark Serpent. Thank y'all for joining us tonight. This is probably our longest one, or at least close to one of our longest ones thus far. I do enjoy and appreciate the space y'all continue to give us. Please join the Discord, flameonshop.com for your new tropics, whiterabbitsite.com. The ebook is almost finished. And yeah, we see y'all on Freaky Friday, Crazy Friday, whatever Friday, whichever way we come up with it.
Lingerie only.
I just want to say, you know, protect your sexual energy. You know, it is sacred energy. And don't play with it. Don't play with it. Pause. It's just until you can really understand the magnitude of its importance to your existence, you really shouldn't just be out here just feeling like you can do whatever you want, whenever you want to, just because you're living in America in 2024. I promise you, have some discernment, have some restraint. Because I know too many people that's sad and successful in singing because they feel like it's okay to sleep around. And you try to tell them it, but you know, I guess they just gotta learn when they learn.
The spell is deep, man. The spell have ruined families, they have ruined careers, they have ruined lives just because you wanted to have sex on a late night. It's just crazy, man.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy.
And then when you make it sacred, you ain't got to do all that weird shit to get off.
Man, you don't even gotta. You could just be at the crib chilling. I promise you can, and realize you're not missing shit. You know, even if you single, she coming to you, he coming to you. Like, you just gotta be patient.
And don't that just be honest? Like, y'all, ain't that shit exhausting trying to keep up appearances? Like, what the fuck?
Man, Hood Mystic, at the Hood Mystic on IG, hoodmystic.com, whiterabbitsite.com, columbianexchange.com. Visit the Substack, Going Crazy, got the financial shadow work for the paid users. Everything else is free. Astrology, got the new moon worksheet. Tap into that. Get in tune with your intentions over this next 28 days, because if you don't set your intentions for your life, somebody is going to set your intentions for you, and you're going to be like, man, I don't even like my life. Bitch ass nigga, you had the power to manifest it the way you wanted to, but you didn't set no intentions with the new moon because you was too cool. You too cool to journal. Visit my Substack. We got worksheets on every fucking article, so tap in before you tap out. Thank y'all for joining, and that's just my sign out, but I think AD gotta send us home.
Discord.
Join the Discord. Join the Discord. Join the Discord. That's all you gonna say, AD?
I mean,
oh, my fault.
Have mercy.
My fault. I didn't know, man. I didn't know y'all wanted to exit like that
What you
too,
doing,
man.
I mean, we could go live for 8 hours, but what we gonna do? You know, we got shit to do in the morning.
If you want to do the Twitch GTA joint, we could do that, but let us know, nigga. Like the fuck.
If you want to do a marathon show, let's do the promo for it first. We could do an 8-hour joint, but we gotta prepare. I ain't prepared. I'm like you, AD. I'm a little tired. I've been on some gladiator shit, but just in the bedroom. Not
Hey,
Hella pause.
Hey, I told y'all, man, that Mars and Cancer.
That Mars and Cancer.
I know
I'm surrounded by wetness. Pause.
Yeah, but nah, man, what y'all Fruto, what y'all want to exit
I
out?
told y'all I was in a silly mood, man. I'm just joking, man.
Bro, just give your sign off, bro. Everybody else get their sign off.
Okay, my fault. I had to go assist something. I just got back. Yeah,
where can they find you at, AD, man? Where can they get up with you?
AD_Senpai33. AD_Senpai33. Fuck it, I'm finna change to the pork chop gravy, nigga. Pork chop, we out.
I don't even know what that means, AD.
Stump the yard. Stump the yard.
That's from the
Stump the yard.
Stomp the Yard joint.
See, I gotta get on my pop culture shit a little bit harder. But thank y'all for joining. Make sure you like the video on your way out. Join the Discord, and we will catch y'all on the flip side. Peace.
Initiates for the flame. You are now programmed to drop dem draws. Have you been maintaining your flame?
You underestimated your child.